Alright, so let's talk about narcissism and how I feel that this is overall a blessing in disguise for humanity, because as we talked about in these previous videos, narcissism, it's being realized by a lot of people how their interpersonal relationships might be dictated by someone who is a narcissist. People are waking up to that definition. And so then from there you can look at how people in positions of power within our political system or entertainment, which again is dictated by the political systems, how those are potentially narcissistic people. Now, from a spiritual perspective, what I see for narcissists are two things. Let me find a piece of paper that I haven't scribbled on. Okay, so for narcissists, what I see is, we'll do two sections of narcissism. We'll have narcissist 1 and we'll have narcissist 2. I did a Trisha Paytas video where I talked about narcissism. Oh, I'm sorry. I talked about sociopaths and psychopaths and energetically how those people are represented and their demonic DNA, essentially. They're blending with demons. A narcissist could be a psychopath or a sociopath. Those tendencies could be indicators of a deeper level of whom they are as a person. Or they could just be emotionally immature people. It's better to just not really try and figure out what kind they are, because the biggest thing for you is to protect yourself, right? There are narcissists all over the world, and there are some relationships that you can't avoid with a narcissist, unfortunately. And so the best thing that you can do is have tools within your tool belt of how to handle the situation, right? It's like the tides of the ocean. You're standing on the shore and you know that it's going to come and knock you down every single time. You don't know when it's going to happen, but you know it's going to happen eventually. And so what can you do to safeguard yourself so that you can either stand back up again or you can not fall at all, right? And so I think one of the first things to do is also understand that the trauma that you received through a narcissist can be grounding. Pain can be grounding, because after you recover from that pain, you feel a lot lighter, right? And you can feel present in the moment and you feel really, really good. It kind of resets something within you from all of that disorder and dysfunction that you were feeling. So that's one way that you can look at the positive aspects of narcissism, as far as like being a victim of it, right? And your trauma is not a badge of honor. Everyone has trauma. Everyone's been through something, some way, somehow. It's not a badge of honor to say that you've experienced something and to carry that weight on your shoulders. It's your resilience, it's your persistence and grace to overcome and to not over-identify with that makes you victorious, that makes you not a victim. That is your badge of honor. To remember these things. That is multiple ways that these can be tools within your tool belt. Remembering that. And knowing it is not your responsibility to ever carry that weight on your shoulders. Okay? Because how does a narcissist form? They're either, again, they don't mean it, they don't understand the implications of the things that they're doing, and that's their process of growing up and becoming more emotionally in tune and mature. whether that's because of some sort of avoidant personality, whether that's just how they are, that's their own personal path, or whether they're a sociopath or a psychopath, and whether that was implemented because of trauma that was placed on them. And that's essentially the majority of the time with a narcissist, is because they've experienced some form of trauma. And so for you to carry that weight, for you to be depressed, for you to be upset, for you to walk around with those burdens on you, is carrying the traumas of other people. And you have to remind yourself and to say to yourself, I refuse to carry your trauma with me. I refuse. I let it go. I let the weights off of me. And I carry forward. And I carry on. And I persevere. This is a way of preventing yourself from self-sabotaging. It's very easy to self-sabotage when you've been a victim of a narcissist. You've been victim of someone who has done something towards you that is unsavory and are attempting to manipulate you or harm you, to cage you within their own traumas, or because of whatever kind of reason. It doesn't matter. The point is that your physiological response can very much affect your mental response to things. So you could go back and watch my Body as a Temple video and talk about ways that I am trying to implement better ways of, well, it's not better ways, it's just kind of like reframing my mind. And I talk about things that I do in my life that I do to preserve myself, preserve my temple. And this is something that you have to keep telling yourself. I refuse to self-sabotage. I refuse. And I will do everything in the physiological sense in order to preserve my mental space. Because your body, taking care of your body will allow your mental and your spiritual state to work at its highest functioning capacity. That means exercising, moving your body, allowing your body to regenerate, your blood to flow, all of these things. Eating very healthy foods, fresh foods, fruits, vegetables, all of that. Just the typical stuff, which again, you can go to my Body as a Temple. All of these things that are protecting your body against lower vibrational things, and it's keeping you in movement. It's keeping you safeguarded. It's keeping you preserved. You have to do that. You absolutely have to. When you self-sabotage, when you let yourself be depressed, when you let your body, destroy itself, or you destroy your body by your own hands, this is giving the opportunity. What am I trying to say? It's allowing your vessel to become a highway for darker things. And it's not fair to you. You need to give yourself a fighting chance. Again, going back to once you get over that hump, you can feel that release and that grounding of pain being eliminated from you. The trauma being eliminated from you. The weight lifting off of you by refusing it. You have to rebuke it. You have to absolutely not allow and set those healthy boundaries for yourself. Okay? So those are different things. As far as what I do to surefire myself against narcissistic people, is allowing myself to have that distance, preventing myself from self-sabotaging myself, and knowing that type of person is always going to come into my life. Always. There's so many of them out there that you're bound to find that. And as you are starting to become aware of this within our personal lives, which again, I think the majority of people they're fluctuating here with the sociopathic and psychopathic tendencies distributed through trauma, but the emotionally inept people that are narcissistic, I believe, is also a form of trauma. For a lot of people, we're seeing more so now, because we have ways in order to prevent people from really tapping into whom they really are, right? We have a lot of distractions available to us that we didn't have before. We have social media, we have internet, we have all of that stuff that is developing this, because it's not developing the spirit, it's not developing the mind. And so that's creating the narcissist within society. But the thing is that it's reawakening people to what that looks like. And that's going to dismantle, hopefully, this is what I believe, this is what I hope for, is going to dismantle and disrobe these people who are having these covert operations within our systems through these narcissistic tendencies, when in truth they are pure psychopaths. They are true psychopaths. Truly, truly, truly. They're not sociopaths. Because they're not really intelligent, to be honest with you. They're not intelligent people. They just have, what is that called? It's a big deal here, but basically, like, here's a term for that. It's like power. They just have powerful positions, right? Passed down to them. Nepotism. It's just nepotism. That's all that is. They're actually very unintelligent, to be honest. Sorry, guys. It's true, though. Yeah. So, is there anything else I want to say? Not really. That's about it. And just, just to others, the way you can express yourself to others, and this will really safeguard yourself, is to maintain a childlike demeanor in the sense of loving freely. You have to love freely. Children, before the world gets to them, they love without bounds. They don't have boundaries with love. And in a way, you can give love to the narcissist, but it has to be a compassionate distance. Like, I need to give you space so that you can heal yourself, or you can choose to go whichever darker route that you want, but I won't be a part of it, right? I don't energetically align with that. And don't be afraid. Like, don't let that hindrance you. You can use that when you safeguard yourself, right? When you have all of these defenses, then you don't have to have a wall up, because you'll trust yourself and you'll trust God, you'll trust in a higher being to protect you, and make the right decisions and learn from that, right? And you'll be able to give love to new people in a way that is without bounds and is fresh and refreshing and childlike, right? So that's basically it, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.